right, today we're tackling a big one, the XDC Network. This is a blockchain with a seriously massive ambition to basically become the new backbone for all of global trade finance. So, yeah, let's dive right in. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, think about it. Global trade finance, it's huge, it's messy, and it is so overdue for a major upgrade. XDC is basically saying, we've got this. But how? How are they actually going to make it happen? Okay, so to really get what XDC is all about, we have to pop the hood and look at the engine. What is it about their tech that makes it a good fit for the super high-stakes world of enterprise finance? Let's find out. So, at its core, XDC is what's called a Layer 1 blockchain, but it's not trying to be a jack of all trades. Nope. It is laser-focused, specifically built for three things: global trade, DeFi, and a really hot topic right now, tokenizing real-world assets. You'll hear people call them RWA. So how does it pull off that kind of performance? Well, it's all about their special consensus mechanism, which they call XDPOs. Now, what that means for you is you get crazy fast block times. We're talking like 2 seconds, and your transactions are final almost instantly. In the world of finance, that speed is absolutely everything. Plus, it uses way less energy and is kept secure by a whole network of validators. And this next part is a really, really big deal. XTC is EVM compatible. Now, what that means in plain English is that it speaks the same language as Ethereum. Think about that. That is a huge advantage because it's like rolling out the welcome mat for this massive army of Ethereum developers. They can just bring their apps and their skills right over to XTC, no need to start from square one. So you've got this powerful engine, right? But where's the car headed? Let's take a look at the roadmap to see what upgrades are coming down the pipe that'll shape its future. You know, this network isn't just sitting still. It's always being upgraded. They just had a big one called Cancun, which brought in a popular feature from Ethereum, EIP 1559. Basically, it just makes the fees way more predictable and boosts security. What's next? They're beefing up the core network, the parts that let apps talk to the blockchain so it can handle way more traffic. That opens the door for linking up with big names like Layer 0 and Stargate, which is huge for omnichain interoperability. That's just a fancy way of saying XDC will be able to talk to all the other blockchains, no problem. And if you look even further out, they're aiming to expand into more global DeFi and even start weaving AI into the trade finance world. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so that's the plan, the roadmap. But a plan is just a plan, right? What about the real world? Let's talk about what's actually happening on the ground, the real adoption that XDC is seeing right now. Let's just start with a number that'll make your head spin: $12 billion. That's not a future prediction. That's the value of assets already tokenized and running on the XDC network today. We're talking real financial stuff, like trade assets and private credit, all being handled on-chain. And that $12 billion number isn't coming out of nowhere. It's being driven by some serious momentum from big institutions. You've got major integrations with DeFi heavy hitters like Curve and Stargate. And this is huge. You can now find regulated XTC investment products, ETPs, on massive European stock exchanges like Euronext and the SIX Swiss exchange. When you add all that up, plus the fact that the network was built from the ground up with compliance like KYC and AML in mind, well, it's a pretty clear signal that the big players are taking this very, very seriously. And we're not talking about some new, untested network here. This thing is battle-tested. We're looking at over 800 million successful transactions. That proves it's stable, it can scale, and it's reliable. This is the real deal, a high-volume blockchain that's been quietly working for years. So what does that actually look like in the real world? It means there are live projects running right now, all over the globe. Places like Brazil, India, Australia. XDC is already being used to power things like tokenized trade deals and corporate payments. It's not just theory, it's actually happening. All right, so with all this momentum, you have to wonder, where does XDC fit in with everyone else? In this last part, let's put it head-to-head with some of the other big names out there and see how it stacks up. So if you look at this comparison, you can really see where everyone's playing. You've got Hedera, which is great with institutions, and Canton, which is all about financial markets. But XTC, it's got this laser focus on global trade and real-world assets. And its secret sauce, really, is that it mixes that EVM compatibility and DeFi focus with an open cross-chain approach. It's a combo you just don't see with the others, which tend to be more closed off or just too general. So if you boil it all down, XDC's big advantage is this powerful trifecta. You've got the incredible speed you need for finance, you've got the huge developer community thanks to being EVM compatible, and you've got this clear runway for institutional adoption. All of that is aimed squarely at one of the biggest prizes out there, global trade. And that brings us right back to where we started. When you see its purpose-built design, the real-world adoption that's already happening, and that intense focus on regulated assets and commerce, you have to ask, is XDC quietly building the foundation for the entire future of enterprise finance? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.